Possum Patty here. It is June 25th and I am nature journaling. A few days past the summer solstice and it's noon and the sun is straight overhead. I'm not going to point the camera up that high, but it's right over my head. And we have some beautiful cirrus clouds way up high. And it's supposed to be in the high 80s today. Tiny, tiny, tiny bit of a breeze. I decided to go out with my hammer that I had taken out the other day and do some chipping away at the big boulder that had the garnets on it. Here's the rock, or boulder I should say, with many garnets on it. They dug all these out of the ground when they built the house, a whole line of them. Whole line of boulders. Well, I went inside and got my Roadside Geology of Connecticut and Rhode Island book to see if I could learn some more about this rock with the garnets. It tells me about the Burgundy Hill Quarry. And it was named this because of the burgundy tinted splotches that characterize the larger blocks of quartzite. So the garnets actually form in mica schist next to the quartzite, and when the schist layer breaks off, the garnets remain on the surface of the quartzite. So I'm looking at this rock, and it definitely looks like there's some quartzite there. And it definitely has these burgundy, as he called them, splotches on it. So that was an interesting history, that the garnets were actually formed in a schist, in a mica schist, and then when the schist wore off, eroded away, these burgundy splotches were left on this quartzite. Well, apparently over 100 years ago, these garnets were mined to make abrasives, and some of the stone was used for architectural stone. So there are some buildings in the area that are made out of this. So the film of my treasures, my garnets, was made with the Zoomy to make them look very big, but actually they're very small. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a little glue and see if I can glue some to the page. And I'm going to put them on the spots where I painted red for garnets. I don't know if this is going to work, but I'm always ready to experiment with something. I'm using Fabri-Tac because it said it's good for glass, and I figure anything that's good for glass is probably good for a garnet. Anticipation is making me wait. All right, here it comes. This takes a while to dry. All right, I start with 3. Oh, and you know what I need? Tweezers. Journaling is like cooking. Assemble all your ingredients before you start. Now these are so small. Oh, here's a big one. I think we need bigger dollops of glue. You know, when you nature journal, anything goes. So right now I am gluing bits of garnet onto my journal page. Try a couple more spots. 1, 2, 3. One. These are so tiny. When I was chopping away, I got some big ones, but they all bounced into the grass. And then I couldn't find them. All right, how about a couple more? There's a good sized one. One. Okay, we're going to do this like glitter. We're going to sprinkle it on. See what sticks. Piece of paper. Okay, that's probably good enough. And we gotta let that dry. As I was walking down to get the mail, a little yellow bird flew across the lane. These are the clues that help me identify the bird. First, it didn't act like a goldfinch. Goldfinch has a very identifiable flight pattern. It also did not have the thick beak of a goldfinch. The beak was slender. It acted like a warbler, so I decided to look into my Peterson's Field Guide at the different warblers. I found a yellow warbler but it did not have the black mask that this one had. So I looked at some more yellow warblers. Now this warbler had a yellow head and a black mask and dark wings with 2 white bars. So I believe the bird that I saw was the blue-winged warbler. I wrote it down on my bird watch for 2020. I'd never seen a blue-winged warbler before. Thanks for coming along today. Happy summer nature journaling. Bye-bye.